It ain't about us trying to catch the very top so we can put puts in. It's not about us trying to catch the very bottom so we can put calls in. It's about saying, how do I be in position based off the communication that I read from these candles? An engulfing pattern is simply when one candle swallows another one, right? But what's dope about this is you can see the comparison of one candle, this engulfing pattern, to another type of pattern that it can be similar to, right? So these are really strong patterns when you see these too. Like somebody say, boy, I love that candle there. Somebody say, Trap, I love that one there. You feel me? So let's talk about this one. So this one is called a bullish engulfing candle. And so it simply is, so here we see the candle on side of it is a bearish candle. You see this bearish candle right here. Now, remember, we talk about kind of like confirmation, right? So you see this candle, and the dope part about that candle is where it's positioned at. It's positioned in the middle of the body of that engulfing candle. That's what makes it engulfing, because it's in the middle of that candle, and this candle's high is bigger than this candle's low, well, let me point to it so you can see it. So the beautiful part about this candle is it's literally in the middle of this candle. So this is what makes it engulfing. So that means if you think about it, like this candle started here and pushed all the way up. Now, some sellers did push it down, which is cool, but the buyers dominated, right? And then it got to a certain price and the buyers pushed it down. Now, the dope part about this is, again, a lot of times we talk about candle communication, and candle communication is important. It's understanding what are the candles saying to you. So first thing, we look at the anatomy of the candle. The anatomy of the candle is this. This is a bearish candle. So what do we understand? We understand that this candle opened right here and closed right here. But we understand that the sellers pushed it down here, but the buyers pushed it up here. Now, the next thing that happens, so the next candle, whatever chart this is, let's say it's a day chart. I like to look at the one-day charts. I like to go from 1 week. Also, remember this. We look at, me personally, the monthly chart twice a month. It's the beginning of June, so the first thing you need to do is look at how the May candle ended. That's important, so you get an idea for what May did, right? The next thing is look at how the candle started. So we look at it 3 times. First here's now. You can look at it at the end of every week, that's cool, but preferably the second week and the 4th week. Typically being, because by the second week, it has developed like a baby, right? It has developed halfway. So it's in its whatever trimester. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about the monthly, you say, hey, it's in this trimester. So it's halfway, this baby is halfway born in that second week. The first week, you're gonna look at it and say, okay, here's how it's developing. The second week is halfway then. Third week is 3/4 of it. The 4th week, it's forming on how it's gonna form. Unless something drastic really happens, you see what's happening, right? So here's the dope part about it. So now when this candle comes on, the communication is that the buyers have now taken over. Communication is the buyers have now taken over. But here's what we're gonna do. The dope part about this is the next candle you need to see has to confirm this. So you want the next candle here to open somewhere between midway or above this. Why? Because if the next candle here opens midway and not below, you know the buyers are still heavy in that play. If it opens above, now we can get into what's called a candle over candle, which is deep confirmation of the seller, the buyers have stepped all the way in. For me, if I see this and then the next candle falls below the middle of the body, I want another candle, because that tells me that the sellers have pushed it down a little bit. They've re-entered the building, and that means they're not going down without a fight. But if it opens midway to this candle, that means the buyer is still locked in. So that's important for me. I'm just bringing you into my psychology. Everybody be different. Everybody will look at something different. For me, if I see this setup right here, I'm like, okay, Bullish engulfing, Bills done took over. They taking claim to this block right now. So I want to know if this next candle comes here, like below this body, right? If this next candle starts here, below this body, or it comes here, I know for a fact that we got an issue, so I need another candle to confirm to me. That's candle communication right there. So my person that say see profit, take profit, that's why I'm asking you, what does the candle say to you to tell you, confirm what you're doing? But also this candle is also a replica of what would be a hammer candle. It's almost equivalent to it in a way. Not all the way, but it can be equivalent to it. Why? So let's look at this. The top is the same, mean buyers pushed it up here. So if you saw this candle, you'll know. And then what you see is the body. So the body of this is at the top of this candle, which is what? Where it closed out at. And at the bottom of here, where it opened. So the body of this hammer took out the opening, the close, and the opening of this. Now, that's going deep into the communication. Right? That's candle communication right there. Right? Now we talking communication. And so now we're going to look at this and we'll see this. It's just the reverse of it. Just the reverse of it. Now this, I'm not going to lie to you. Let me say something right quick. This candle here is all about where it's positioned at on a chart. Another thing about candle communication that you're going to learn is not just identifying a candle, but understanding where it's positioned at on the chart, right? So certain candles, you're going to see them, if you see them like at the top of a trend or the bottom of a trend, that means a lot, whereas you seeing it just in the middle of a trend. You feel what I'm saying? Like seeing it at the top of a trend or bottom of a trend immediately represents some type of reversal or something that's taking place. Right? So you want to definitely make sure of that steps into your candle communication at a higher level. And we're going to get into that too as we go on the show. It's not that I want to just teach, it's not that I want to teach like just technicals, like I'm just genius, but what I do want to do is, so my goal for doing this is, if you go back to the last couple shows and you start looking at, hey, here's a candle, and you start getting on your maps, on your charts and say, yep, I see that right there. Yep, I see that right there. Yep, if you can just start identifying those things, you can start saying, oh, now you're starting to understand how the market is working. Does that make sense? Somebody said, I hate them long-legged heifers. Y'all crazy. And so that's basically it. Same thing, man. So if you see this, you see that the sellers was in, and then they did what? Engulf them. Right? They took them over. And if they took them over completely, you will want to see that next candle outside of that. Not saying this, but that next candle out here, you want to see that candle the same way. You want to see that candle halfway into that body, and you want to see it down. Why? Because that means sellers done stepped in and they done doubled down. If you see that next candle coming in that's above that, I would want another candle to confirm to me what's going on. I think the more you can get confirmation when you are looking at charts, you can get better at making entries, making exits. For me, I'll be honest with you, y'all, like, I don't really be trying to anticipate. The biggest tool and the biggest goal, the biggest skill set you can build, shout out to my guy, Ozell, in the Patreon, he always say this, patient man's game. I'm not going to take credit because he be saying trap, but I'm going to give him credit because he always said it. I've said it a million times, but he always said, hey, y'all, it's a patient man's game. 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 Right? It's a patient man and woman's game. Right? The reason being, I'm not saying you can't anticipate, but for me, I would rather get confirmation than anticipation. Because what we do know is anticipating means I'm guessing what the next one going to do. Confirmation means the market has told me what it's about to do. And that sets you up. And what I want everybody to understand before we go tonight, because we're going to end it on this, like, don't be scared to take an L in this game. No matter how great you are from a technical analysis, no matter how great you are fundamentally, guess what? You can have the best probability set up. This is a goal. It looks perfect. I've been waiting for this. Reversal. You mess around and see a bullish engulfing pattern, and then out of nowhere, you get a tweet or something come out, and a damn a bullish engulfing pattern ate this one up. You know what I'm saying? So like anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So you get good at understanding the candle anatomy. You get good at understanding that candle communication. And that'll definitely put you in position and make better, them liquidity sweeps, that can put you in great position. And at the end of the day, as a trader, what you want to always be, you want to be in the best position possible. That's it. That's all you're going to ask for. Right? It ain't about us trying to catch the very top so we can put puts in. It's not about us trying to catch the very bottom so we can put calls in. It's about saying, how do I be in position based off the communication that I read from these candles? And that's the best you can ask. That's the best you can do. That's the best you can do, yo. And if you do that, and if you consistently do that, you will see more rewards. You will see better trades. You will see better profits. And that's all you want, yo. You want to put yourself in the highest probability to make the best trades you can make based on the information and data that's presented to you. If you can do that, if you can have the resolve and the calm to say, hey, man, this is the play I want. And I'll give you a prime example. When we got in a Palo Alto play, we don't know how it's going to turn out the rest of the day, but somebody say, hey, Trap, what we doing? I say, hold. I say, hold. I say, now. And it did what we wanted it to do. And guess what? Guess what it did? I laid out the play what was going to happen. Guess what? Jamie Dimon got on TV and went to talking about doomsday, and it went straight the other way. It went up, then soon as it went up for like the first hour, then soon as he started talking, it went the other way. And then we was in the trade. Then they had an interview later with Trump. It turned back around and did what I thought it was supposed to do. You can't prepare for him talking. You don't know what he's going to say out his mouth. That's why for me, I'm cool with buying myself a little time to give it the opportunity to turn around for me. So, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I appreciate you.